Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back once again actually on iRacing. Today we're going to be taking the Formula 1 car to some more destinations. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, we did a video where we took the AMG Mercedes W12 to Bathurst. Of course, if you missed out on that video, I would definitely recommend going back and checking it out. And I sort of had so much fun with that one, I decided, maybe this will turn into a bit of a series on the channel as, we sort of get ready for the F1 2022 season. Of course, far more importantly for us, the F1 2022 game as well there. So today, we're heading back to a track that's actually hosted Formula 1 races before, albeit quite a while ago. That's why I wanted to come here, because I thought it would be very interesting to see how a modern Formula 1 car would fare. And of course, that is Brands Hatch. Always sorts of sits in the shadow, I think, of Silverstone in the UK in terms of great British racetracks, of course. We've got quite a few pretty decent ones, I think, here on this small island, but Brands Hatch definitely ranks up right towards the very best. So, of course, a track famous where Williams took their first Formula 1 race victory, and I think, for sort of more fans of, our channel, everything like that, of course, known as well for being on F1 at 2013. Those of you guys that played that game all those years ago, yeah, will remember Brands Hatch on there as well. It was very good fun on F1 2013. Albeit not very accurate. So today, obviously, we're going to head out on iRacing once again. Then this, of course, is a laser scan version of Brands Hatch, so exactly as you would expect it to be in real life. Of course, if you are new around here and you do go on to enjoy, make sure you leave a like and get yourself subscribed. Of course, if you want to see more iRacing content from me as well, I have a channel now that, thank you very much, has just hit 1,000 subscribers as well, where we do a lot more iRacing content. And also, starting tomorrow, in fact, we're going to be doing some Gran Turismo 7 content on there as well. So really looking forward to jumping in over on there. But yeah, let's head out then here to Brands Hatch. Going to obviously, like always, do a few warm-up laps and then we'll do a couple of attacking laps and see just what the car can do. But let's fire this W12 into life then, of course. Yeah, 13,500 RPM this thing at its maximum. Had to go out quickly just to make sure my wheel was working as it should, but yeah, I haven't really done a full lap yet around this track in this car. Now, Brands Hatch, I must admit, of course, like I've just mentioned, very famous, especially here in the UK. I don't know the corner names around here very well, so I'm probably just going to try to avoid saying any of them, because it's highly likely I'll get most of them wrong. Now, it's actually a track, I think, on iRacing that shows up rather often, is Brands Hatch, so I do know my way around here pretty well, and of course the fact it's just a very famous track, it's on a lot of different sims around, sort of the racing platform as well. Like I said, it's even been on an F1 game, and especially considering it's not an F1 track anymore, that's very uncommon. Really, you've got the 4 tracks on F1 2013, and then effectively Vietnam as well, that never appeared in 2020. They're like the 5 F1 tracks that are just kind of oddballs in the entire franchise. But yeah, we'll see what this AMG Mercedes can do once again. They obviously had an absolute laugh at Bathurst lap time round. Of course, that was a lot more of an experimental video. Of course, we have seen F1 cars race around Brands Hatch, albeit a very long time. We'll go back in the 80s, and we sort of went through that weird period of Silverstone not hosting every British Grand Prix, of course, before it basically became the staple again in more recent years. Of course, Silverstone, a track based on an airfield like a lot of UK circuits, but yeah, Brands Hatch, as you can quite clearly see, definitely not a completely purpose-built track. Of course, famous in the touring car series here in the UK, also, of course, does things like GT3 racing, and a lot of other sort of smaller events as well. So yeah, certainly gets fair use over the course of a year, but very fun track, of course. First time I've done that in this series. I honestly thought we would have done, well, we had a small slap of the barrier back at Bathurst, but that was not quite what I had in mind there. Let's have a watch then as we tip it in. I think we just got on the grass on the outside, and yeah, just back in. You see how immediately our Formula 1 car snaps around there, and that's yeah, the rear gone? But we kind of managed to make it rest like it wasn't badly damaged there. Let's head out again then, and try and get some attacking laps in. So yeah, like I was saying though, Brands Hatch gets, sort of a lot of use week in, week out. A bit like Silverstone, to be honest, of course. I said, probably one of the trifecta, I like to dub it here in the UK, of like the most popular tracks, of course. Silverstone, Brands Hatch, and then Donington Park as well, which I'm sure we'll definitely jump into if you know, sort of this does end up becoming a series as well. But, you know, I sort of want to explore other tracks around the world as well. You know, this isn't going to be just racing around every British race circuit that's on iRacing as well there. But, of course, yeah, the GP section, very, very famous back in the day. Doesn't get as much use in more recent times. But, yeah, certainly, you know, sort of the bigger cars. You know, the Indy track is very, very well known. But, yeah, the full layout is still very, very popular when you get some proper cars around it. Let's try and go then for a bit more of a push lap then. I don't know actually what ERS management setting we're on, but let's see if we can try and nail a lap then. Going to try down just the one gear. Oh, no car should grip up through there as well as it has. I mean, no car should also do that. I think I've got damage. Yeah, I think I've got damage that's like very, very quick to reset. Yeah, so that's... Right, okay, we don't have to worry about that anymore then. Sometimes I don't actually mind, you know, when you sort of mess around in this muck, having some of the massive shunts that you sometimes get. But, yeah, that's a rather surprise then. I didn't know... To be honest, I didn't even know you can enable that on iRacing, truth be told. But, yeah, we'll set ourselves up then, I think, for another lap. I would like to try and get a proper one in very, very soon, but... Yeah, it's safe to say, you know, Bathurst is not exactly a forgiving circuit, and how I'm finding Brands Hatch less forgiving than that is quite impressive, as I mean, just so many of the corners around here, so we try and just collect it back up again. You know, very, very narrow this place, and it kind of invites you to race really, really aggressively. But yeah, surprised actually, to be honest, that I'm struggling as much as I am with this, as I think we are in attack mode at the moment, which probably wasn't ideal. But yeah, back then, I can't believe that's only down one gear through turn one. You might be able to get away with going down two if you need the extra engine brake there. Having to brake rather early though at the top of the hill, just because you're maintaining so much speed through the first corner there. Tip it down fourth gear there, you can use all the runoff on the exit as you head down into what would be the final corner of the Indy lap. But of course now we head out down into the woods, down through the dip. And then, of course, yeah, intrigued to see how much momentum we're going to be able to take the car through here. Completely pinned. Almost a slight blend there. Of course, we didn't have much battery either, so we're a bit slower going in. And then, I mean, these, yeah, the second half, the lap round here, all high speed, you know, really testing the downforce of a Formula 1 car. You know, trying to make the circuit as wide as possible. It very much is a confidence-based circuit as well at the end of the day. And then down towards the final corner, braking probably a little bit early there. You could probably get away with flicking it in at the 50. That's sort of a fairly decent lap at Brands Hatch. I'm going to save up the battery, and we're going to go again and try and do a proper sort of attack mode if I can. This thing is so lively on iRacing. It is such a laugh. In fact, you can actually just, you know, sort of kick the back end out, and it's so rewarding when you are able to save it again. One of the problems I've found with Brands Hatch, though, which I'm sure a lot of people would love playing it on the F1 games, there's no real places to save up the battery particularly well. It's a bit like, I'm trying to think of the circuit, probably Silverstone as well is a good example of it on the game, where it's just impossible to build up battery over the long run. Or Zandvoort, I think, is the track I was really thinking of, where you just can't really build up the battery at all. You can deploy it quite easily, there's a lot of fast sections, but there's no massive braking zones throughout a lot of the lap. Let's get it back up into attack mode though, and try and see if we can get another good lap in then. Let's go proper sweat mode this time and try and get a good lap here at Brands Hatch. See what time we can set. Can we get close to the minutes? Yeah, our best lap was a 1 minute, so we should be able to. Oh, no, again! Why am I struggling so much with this car around here, of all places? I thought Bathurst we probably weren't driving it at 100% a lot of that time, but yeah, surprised with just how much I'm struggling to get this thing hooked up round here. It's genuinely a challenge. If you got iRacing in this car, give it a go. Right, let's go again then. Here from Brands Hatch. Can I finally get a decent lap in? Desperately, desperately want one now. It's actually almost starting to frustrate me there, as that was a lot of curb through the first corner. very wide there. It's so unforgiving, this place. It makes, you know, Brands Hatch doesn't often feel like a really small circuit. When you're driving in a car that attacks everywhere with the speed this thing does, every corner feels really, really challenging because there is just no room for error on the exit. We should be able to get one more push lap in before we run out of fuel. And of course, yeah, with it being such a short lap, only 2.3 miles this place, we should be able to just about squeeze another one in with the battery. But this lap's going to be a whole lot better then. We've kind of got our eye in. What is this final lap going to be? Oh, no! I almost was able to save it again. I managed to save the first correction, but not the second. I think we're going to go back and box and put some more fuel in. This is genuinely such a fun challenge. I've never had anything like it in this car. It's often quite forgiving. Not today. I mean, you just look at the speed you're carrying around a lot of this place. As we head down through, you can see. Tip it in rather nicely. Just get on the sand. Save the slide once. And then just overcorrect the other way. You're on the grass, and then it's a one-way ticket to the gravel trap there. I'm a bit annoyed. Yeah, I've managed to put the damage on, the damage sort of reset on. But yeah, let's just go back out there once more. I want a sub 1 minute lap. It shouldn't be too difficult, but apparently it's turning that way for me. Right, come on then, Matt. One more proper lap. We've got to get this hooked up. Brands Hatch, of all places, cannot beat me here on iRacing. Sub 1 minute lap, I reckon, to be honest, I could get a sub 59. As always, this is being done on default setup. Let's go attack mode, and let's try and get it then. One final lap, or maybe two, depending on how the first one goes. Let's really just hunker down now and try and get this thing around here. What can I do? What am I doing wrong? Right. I said we might need one more lap. I don't think I've ever said I need one more lap so many times in a video to try and get a car, a Formula 1 car, around a circuit. We managed to get around the Nordschleife with no issues, but I can't do Brands Hatch. What on earth is going on? Sub 1 minute, please. Please, Matt. At the final couple of corners, so I did pick up a 1x on this lap, but to be honest, at the moment, I absolutely don't care there. We just ran a little bit wide, but down towards the start-finish line then. What is the time gonna be? It's a 59.5. That I'm pretty happy with there. Like I said, I reckon a sub 59 is possibly going to be doable for me around here if I really manage to get a lap hooked up there. Made a couple of mistakes, obviously, down in towards what I think is technically turn 3 there, and then, yeah, like I said, picked up that 1x on the exit of turn 5, but yeah, this was not a combination I expected to be like this on iRacing, but that I think is sort of the fun of this series. Like I said, let me know any other tracks you'd like me to see me race on down below as well. Of course, trying to stick to iRacing at the moment. You know, we'll go through a lot of tracks on here if we do make this a series, and then maybe, you know, we'll look to try and expand out into other sims as well if you guys want some more obscure venues in the world of motorsport. But yeah, that was a much bigger challenge than I ever anticipated it to be here on iRacing, but still super rewarding when you can get the lap kind of dialed in. Like I said, we made a few mistakes on that run still, but as I always say, what a machine this Mercedes is as well on iRacing. Just so much fun to just chuck around a circuit there, right on the limit of adhesion and grip, so often around this venue as well there. But yeah, like I said, if you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel. Like I said, if you want to see more iRacing content from me, make sure you go out and check out my second channel as well. But thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, we'll be back very soon with more Formula 1 content. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.